So I was always confused between weightlifting fairy Kim Bok Joo versus strong
Strong
girl
woman.
Bong Soon. Yeah,
Yeah,
strong woman.
that happened
Because
with me. They're such similar names.
yeah, and like this titles are similar and the names are also similar, and it was just very confusing. So for the longest time, I just believed that I'd seen one episode of Strong Girl Bong Soon, and I always believed I'd seen this show instead. So I
Oh
never
yeah.
ended up checking it out.
Yeah, no, I've seen Strong Woman Bong Soon. If you are watching this, you should go check out my review for this on our Instagram page, which is at NoonaTalk. But
Mhm.
hi, we are.
Luna talk.
I'm Zara, and after last week's debacle, oh no, after last K drama or K flop, I'm actually really nervous for this one.
I'm Sophia, and I have my fingers crossed because can it really get worse?
We are Noona Talk, a podcast where we talk about K pop, K drama, K culture, everything else you need to know, especially if you're a K stan.
And you can follow us on Instagram where we create fun content, and Zara does mini reviews of K dramas as well as other stuff like giveaways, which are awesome. And if you're listening to this podcast, you can check it out on Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, wherever you find podcasts. You can subscribe to us on YouTube and check out all our YouTube content, which
Which
you can
includes
find.
reactions and weekly podcast episodes like this one. It's a special series that we do called K Drama or K Flop, where we watch the first episode of very famous K dramas because we're still K drama novices, and see if it's worth watching the rest of the season or if it's a K flop. What are we watching this week?
And this week, if you haven't read the title yet, we are checking out Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok Joo. So this stars Nam Joo Hyuk, who was also in. Oh, he was also in 2521. He was in Startup. I've seen a bit of Startup. I did not know he was in that. And I've seen one episode of 2521 as well, which was super popular recently.
Mm.
And the female lead is Lee Sung Kyung, who was in, let's see, oh, she was in Shooting Stars. She's in the Trap. I get that recommendation a lot. And while you were
The
sleeping,
Moonbyul album.
yeah, it's got the same name.
I think it'll be a cute romance. That's kind of what I can guess and gauge. But I'm very curious as to, like, for any story that needs to be angst or plot, I don't know what that'll be. Like, is it,
Weightlifting, like she's a
yeah, but like, what's
weightlifter.
the story? And because of the weightlifting fairy thing and the fact that you did, like, put that in my head,
Equated.
strong woman, Bong Soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is
Is
there
it going to
something?
be similar?
Is it like, is she just really
Hmm.
strong
And that's a tough thing as a woman.
to be?
Mm, yeah. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I have no idea. It just feels like a fun. It feels like a light show from whatever photos I've seen. It's very bright and colorful, so it feels like a chill show. But
Hmm.
this Netflix summary says it's a coming of age story. Oh, I didn't expect that. About a group of college athletes who are fighting for their dreams, experiencing and finding love in the process. So it's Chak De India.
Chakri India was about India and Pakistan relationships, let's be honest. But okay, yeah, no, I did not
Okay.
expect that at all.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
didn't,
I thought it'd be older people. I didn't expect it to be a college show at all.
I don't know how to say this. And now it sounds really stupid. But like, I didn't expect it to be about sports.
Yeah, valid. I
Yeah,
thought it was just someone going to the gym or something.
no, I definitely thought she was like a weightlifter. But you know how, like, I don't know if this happens with
I thought
you
she
guys,
was just like a
but like a
strong
sport.
person who could lift
Yeah,
weights.
like I didn't think it would be like a sport.
I liked it.
It was cute.
Yeah, surprisingly. Like, I was not expecting. Like, if I had time, I would genuinely just watch the second episode.
Yeah, no, I definitely do want to watch the second episode. Like, this is what I meant. Okay, if you watched our last K drama, okay, flop, which was Descendants of the Sun, please go watch it. It's there in our channel. But okay, this is what I said. I like romantic K dramas. I think they can be well done, but then there needs to be something there. And in this, it felt like the coming
But
of age was very well.
huh, I think this wasn't centered around romance, at least the first episode. There was so much more going on. There was so much like as other establishing plot lines that weren't about the romance aspect. But just apart from that, like you want to talk about what happened in the first episode?
Okay, so we meet. I've forgotten her name. Bok Joo.
Yeah, Bok Joo.
Bok Joo. We meet Bok
Kim
Joo,
Bok Joo.
who's Kim Bok Joo, whose father and uncle run a chicken shop because that is the law in K dramas. Everybody
Hey, in
must
the
run.
previous show, nobody in Descendants of the Sun, nobody owned a chicken shop.
That's why it wasn't a good show. Okay, nobody had a chicken shop, so it can't be a good show. You know what? Maybe बाद में किसी का होता है ना हमें बाद में पता
Maybe.
चलता. Maybe like
If
the
not a
surgeon,
chicken shop, at least like a drinking store or something.
something. But
Hmm.
anyway, so her father and uncle run a chicken shop. She's the part of the weightlifter team in some sports
Sports
university.
college, yeah.
Yeah. And there's a rivalry between, not a rivalry, but like
There is
language.
definitely rivalry.
Okay. But like, can it be rivalry in different sports?
Yeah, of course.
But there's rivalry between the weightlifters and the gymnasts, which makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like, this is somebody who knows. Like, I feel like I don't care about sport, but if I did, this makes sense to me.
Yeah, and
Um,
like they showed it really well where like a girl from the like a girl who was a weightlifter who her boyfriend cheated on her with like some or left her, I think, for a
hmm.
gymnast girl, and it was very well established that the
Yeah,
rivalry
and
exists.
I think I don't know if the show is going to continue to do this, but there was like say hints of societal expectations of women sort of put in there where like the weightlifters weren't typically feminine and
Hmm.
whereas the
They were given
gymnasts,
weight, like they were made to move around chairs and things like that, whereas the
and
gymnasts
even
were the
like the people who'd been cast to play the characters,
hmm,
right? Like they're
hmm, hmm.
not particularly effeminate
True,
by social standards, whereas the
true.
gymnasts are all thin and pretty and pretty.
But yeah.
And then there's a thing about how there's somebody on the swimming team with his broad shoulders who may have caught somebody's eye or not, as we may find out soon. Um,
And there's
I
also a laundry thief.
Oh yes, there's also a laundry thief. I feel like some of these things, I think there were elements of so much real life.
Yeah, it was so realistic, right? Like these
Hmm.
things happen in college. Like your laundry does get lost, and it could be a crazy man stealing your underwear, but could also just be something lost in this thing, and like just rivalry among people living in a closed space. I think that's definitely a real thing. And then someone something gets stolen, you go up to the other person, and they're like, "No, I didn't steal it," and then you're just like,
Yeah, I think a lot of
"Hmm,
these elements were very real.
realistic."
The thing like somebody gets in trouble and then the friends all go up and like drink on the roof.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
like you did those sort of things, do those sort of things.
yeah.
All of that was very, it
अब
was
तो
very
मेरी उम्र हो गई अब मैं नहीं कर सकती ये सब
okay. Literally today, one of my coworkers asked me how old I was and then said, "But you have such a young and bubbly energy." And I was like, "I'm not that old."
You do have a very young and bubbly energy.
But I'm not even that old. It's not absurd to have young and bubbly energy. I'm
You
young.
know people your age.
What was okay? Give me one thing you liked about the show.
I don't know how to explain it. The story kept flowing. Like at no point was I getting bored or something. It was since it was the first episode, it was still establishing things,
Hmm.
but it didn't feel like it was just establishing. Like everything kind of led to another thing. And it had my favorite K drama trope, the
Sharing
Bachpan
bed.
mein bitch. What?
Oh,
Bachpan mein
okay,
bitch rahe were
no,
friends.
sorry.
Um, yeah, so like friends, like the lead characters always have had some history as children which they have forgotten
Which was
about.
also not there in Descendants of the Sun.
Maybe it could have happened later, but like it's definitely like childhood trauma is like one of the leading story
Bonding
thing
moments, yeah.
bonding moments, yeah, in K dramas, and it was there, and it was done in a very non-traumatic way. I think the lack of trauma overall currently, I'm sure it'll come up later, was good. But yeah, the fact that the story kept flowing, it was light and it was fun. And the reason for the love makes sense here versus whatever happened in Crash Landing. Sorry, not Crash Landing. Descendants of the Sun.
Was the whole difference between the weightlifters and gymnasts. I wish, like, this is something I do wish, and I know it's like asking for too much, but I do wish the main lead wasn't this pretty. Like, I think she's unbelievably pretty. Like, her light colored eyes and everything, like, they just work really well. And
Just bad hair.
she doesn't have bad hair.
It's an ugly hairstyle.
Okay, it's not that bad. But I mean, that's not, I can't believe I'm defending that. But anyway, role reversal. But like, I
Hmm.
feel like the only thing I would have wanted is for her to be a little more not as pretty so that it really just sort
But
of
then nobody would
sells.
have watched the show, right? Like
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
problem.
I do understand that. Like, you need to
Hmm.
have like a pretty lead. Um, but at least
I
in
mean, on the plus side, you
mannerisms, they
on the
have
plus
like.
side, you did think the main lead guy was ugly, so you know.
I didn't think he was ugly. I was just like, how is he? He wasn't charismatic or anything.
Hmm.
Like, he was just shockingly normal. But like, I do like how her mannerisms, they've definitely worked on that. Like, you can't make somebody not extremely good looking, but you can work against that. I think they've tried to make her, I don't like saying this, but butch it up in an
Hmm.
attempt to take away from their feminiteness. And
Hmm.
that's something. I do like that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely good direction because it creates a very stark difference between the behavior, the body movements of the gymnasts versus the
Hmm.
weightlifters. I think that was reflected very well. It wasn't just, oh, they're just like, I don't know, more feminine looking and have more makeup on. It wasn't just that. There was a lot. I think that was really like everyone's like body acting was very convincing. Like it didn't feel like
Hmm.
older people pretending to be in a college. It just genuinely felt like kids in college.
Yeah, it really did.
Hmm.
Um, I think also the plot, there is plot. Like, this is something
Yeah.
we said this going into this, that there is plot, and like there is
Hmm.
angst, especially given that he has this whole like ex-girlfriend who's now living with his
Yeah.
childhood friend, maybe lover. Like, let's be honest, lover.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a point in the show
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, to
So it gives
explore.
you like things to look forward to for the
Correct,
future.
correct,
I'm
and
curious
that's
about how it'll build.
how. Who would you recommend the show to, or like what would you say when recommending it?
I think anyone who's looking for like a light watch is what it feels like just a chill, show. If something like if you've seen shows like 20, 25, 21, whatever the name of that show is because I don't remember the actual numbers.
21, 25, 25, 29,
No, it's not 29.
21, 25.
25, 20. It's 25, 21. I was right,
Yeah,
actually.
I said it the ulta thing. I said 21, 25.
But I was right the first time.
That is true.
That or Hello My 20s, so things like that. I think it kind of falls in the similar realm of those shows where it's just like fun college, there's romance, there's a bit of like, I don't know, infighting and like a bit of
Hmm.
rivalry. It's just a bunch of people and there are things happening, but it's not too heavy, it's not too intense, but it's still like it's because they're placed in college. They are at a place where they're like working towards something. Those like working towards your dreams and aspirations kind of thing is definitely there for the character arcs, and I think those play very important roles in these kind of dramas.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think I am not a big fan of sport. I think we've established that, but I do like a lot of sport movies and sport TV shows. I think Make It or Break It was something that really came to mind when I was watching this.
Mm.
I think this was Make It or Break It was a TV show from America, which is about gymnasts. So I'm watching now the weightlifter one. But this was a definitely much cuter show to watch. Like, it was cute.
Hmm.
Versus, I like, so far there was not
Cute
much
but
like,
not cheesy.
not cheesy, and like right now it
Hmm.
didn't feel very heavily focused on the sport aspect, but more about the
Hmm.
culture around sport.
Yeah, the
Uh,
sport and college culture was
hmm,
highlighted well. Yeah, you're
which I
right.
do think is interesting, and I hope that continues. I'm
Hmm.
definitely down to watch more episodes. So it's a K drama for me. Is it a K drama for you?
It is.
Okay. If it's a K drama for you as well, remember to leave a comment if you've already seen the show and you agree with our opinion. If you don't agree with our opinion, that's just too sad. And you're just going to have to like hit the like button for that instead. That's your punishment
Or
today.
tell us why you don't like it. Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Tell us why you don't like it. And if you haven't seen the show, did our like watching of it make you want to watch the show? Let us know. Remember to like the episode, this episode, not the Netflix episode. Like that too, but like our episode. And remember to subscribe to our channel. Also remember to follow us on Instagram where we are at NoonaTalk. And if you are listening to our dulcet tones instead of watching us on video, remember that we are very fun and exciting people, and you should watch us on YouTube as well. But thank you for listening to us, and leave a review. I think that's a great idea. Leave a review on Spotify. 5 stars is where we like it.
Okay, thank you for listening in. I hope you have a nice week. See you next time. Bye.